The sentry stands tall and erect, with a highly polished rifle on his shoulder. His white gloves seem to glow against his dark blue uniform. He walks forward 21 steps. He stops and executes a series of turning movements that take 21 seconds. Then he walks forward again 21 steps. He stops. He turns 21 seconds. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, night or day, rain or snow, sleet or hail, this hallowed ground is always guarded. This place of honor is guarded not because it is the resting place of some president or admiral or even a general, but as the inscription on the tomb says, it is the final resting place of a soldier known but to God. At Arlington National Cemetery, or Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery here in St. Louis, and the many other gardens of stones in the United States, during a military funeral, the American flag is raised from the casket and is carefully folded into a triangle with the field of blue and the white star showing. It is carefully handed to an officer who approaches the family member. He leans forward and in a hushed tone he says, "On behalf of the President of the United States, we present you this flag as a symbol of the faithful and honorable service your loved one has rendered to our country." He then very slowly and deliberately comes to the position of attention and raises his hand in a final salute of honor for a fallen American soldier, while in the distance a bugler plays taps. The first time I saw this, I was a young boy, and it was for my 19-year-old brother who had come home from a faraway place named Vietnam. The next time I saw it was when I was a young lieutenant stationed at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and I presented a flag to the mother of one of my soldiers who had drowned while trying to save the life of a fellow soldier. 21 steps, 21 seconds. Over the years, throughout America, in large cities and small towns, this scene has been, and sadly will be, repeated countless times. Since the beginning of our nation, in the cold of Valley Forge, the hills and valleys of Antietam and Gettysburg, the forests of Europe, the steaming jungles of the Pacific and Vietnam, the desert sands of Kuwait and Iraq, and the mountains of Korea and Afghanistan, young men and women have come forward to serve this country in the profession of arms. Like any profession, the profession of arms has many traditions, laws, and customs. The tenets of duty, honor, and courage are the cornerstone of our military, but the highest of these values is the one of self-sacrifice for another. In the 22 years I had the privilege to serve on active duty, I saw this over and over again. Young men and women more concerned for their fellow soldier than for their own safety or comfort. Many times these acts were not life-threatening. They were just acts of putting someone else's needs before your own. Whether it was sharing a canteen of water on a hot day in the desert, or going back to get someone who had dropped out of a physical training run, or carrying a damaged tank round to a safe location right before it exploded, running into a burning building to bring out a woman who was confined to a wheelchair, or diving into a river to save the life of a fellow soldier. When I presented the flag to the mother of this soldier for his act of courage in saving the life of a fellow soldier, a great sense of pride swept over me. Pride in his unselfishness, and pride in all of the soldiers, sailors, airmen, marines, and coast guardmen who made the ultimate sacrifice for another. At the military funeral of a friend of mine, his son had requested that the song "Mansions of the Lord" be played, and the words of the song, written by Randall Wallace, were poignant and haunting. To fallen soldiers let us sing, where no rockets fly, no bullets wing. Our broken brothers let us bring to the mansions of the Lord. No more weeping, no more fight, no friends pleading through the night. Just divine embrace, eternal light, in the mansions of the Lord. Where no mothers cry and no children weep, we shall stand and guard, though the angels sleep. All through the ages, let us keep the mansions of the Lord. As we approach another Memorial Day, let us dedicate ourselves to never forgetting the men and women who shed their blood and died for this country, so we can enjoy the freedoms we do today. On this Memorial Day, for one moment of our time, let us all honor their ultimate sacrifice, 21 steps in 21 seconds.